What do you want? You're here. You've made... However, shall we get based and forge? I'll do even the... I'll tell Jeremy. Let's get moving.
What, me? Support? For crying out loud. Get to the point. Guide! Since... Not to mention... Hey. Alright then. Let's see. If I were... Huh.
Or did you let it happen? As a feint, it worked well. But you mustn't let your guard down. Those Vulgus cyborgs have had quite a few upgrades recently. You may suddenly encounter powerful units that aren't in our database. Occupied territory. There's no end to that.
I will destroy you. You will all die.
High-level Vulgus closing in. We confirm it's a new Kuiper-enhanced variant.
It's built with the same material as the one we're after. Make a note in the operations log, number 17. Thanks to the enemies being drawn your way, infiltration is going smoothly. Good job.
Communications deception transmitter at the Vulgus base is operational. Descendant, you need to protect the transmitter while it is operating. If the diversion works, we can detain a number of enemies here. Multiple Vulgus are closing in on the transmitter. There is a high probability that this is the result of a communications diversion. Continue to engage them and stall for time as long as possible. Tactical target achieved. Mission accomplished, Descendant.
This is Sharon. I'm transmitting to all Allied forces deployed to this operation. We have an urgent development, requesting backup. Number 17 has received details. All units are to head to the mining outpost. Mission request from Colon Special Forces Agent number 17. Objective, secure a Vulgus sample. We need a Vulgus sample to study the recent technological improvements to Legion of Immortality units. This mission is also part of the diversion tactics. Seem to believe our actions are a simple offensive mission. The feint is working.
Please be as brief as possible. Descendant, we have an urgent... Thanks to... This is... This... And it's... I was... For them... Once... Descendant.
Are you sure this guide can be trusted? Didn't you guys win at King's?
Descendant. The answer... The Vulgus. But I need... If the Vul...
How pathetic. A full operation for such a minor target? Guess the Colon Special Forces aren't that special after all. I've sent you a more appropriate mark, so you can show me what you can really do with those highfalutin skills of yours. Get it together, come on!
All storage tanks disabled. Mission relay terminated. That storage box contains the Kuiper collected by the enemy. Opening it will reveal the contaminated Kuiper. Kuiper disassembler operational. Please destroy as much of the bogus Kuiper as possible. Tactical aim achieved. Mission accomplished, Descendant.
This is Sharon. Nice work with the support. I've managed to shake off their tracking. I'm scouting for intel around the factory. I've relayed the coordinates of the temporary outpost, requesting all units to regroup at the designated location. Officially beginning infiltration operation.
Bogus carrying fuse parts identified. Wait, our surveillance equipment is picking up enemy comm signals.
Arcade tracking matrix operational. Descendant detected in the area of the Kuiper refinery. Guardian unit Kara. Highly suitable for Facility Defense Combat. Deployment ready.
Damn. Looks like they're just sending one of their own. I was hoping the commander would show up. Application confirmed. One generator remaining. Descendant, a high-level Vulgus is heading toward the refinery. It's likely to be Kara.
Descendant located. Activated quantum Kuiper force field. Elimination of the Descendant. Protect the refinery.
Descendant, this is a dangerous Vulgus. It will be best to eliminate it.
Reactivation of core synapse. Failure.
Vulgus signal lost. I was hoping Ederlick would show up. But oh well. Thank you, Descendant.
Receiving info on Mark. Position of bogus power plant confirmed. Mission request. Destruction of generators as a feint attack.
I heard Captain Harris let you in on a fun trick. Certain Legion of Immortality units have parts that can act as fuses. We can use those.
Unstable energy flow detected. Probability of fuse parts high. parts confirmed. High-level Vulgus closing in. Request combat engagement. All generators disabled. Mission relay terminated.
Deactivating active camera. I'm alive. Oh, here. Let's.
I have to admit, not even my arcade can penetrate the quantum barrier of these security devices. Those rust buckets have put some thought into this.
Operation status, jammer installation complete. Using the jammer to neutralize the distress signal sent by Ederlink should allow us to bypass one of the Vulgus' security measures. Your task is to protect the jammer while I work.
Enemy security devices disabled. Mission accomplished.
To bypass the multi-stage security system, you'll need a unique authentication sequence used by the Legion of Immortality. You need to collect samples from the Legion in good condition and put them in the supply box. These will be analyzed in Alpha, and they'll send us the sequence we can use for security authentication. I've received word that the supply box has arrived safely. The authentication sequence is as good as secured. Good job. This is Sharon. All Vulgus security levels have been successfully deactivated. All units regroup at my position to investigate the Ironheart excavation site.
Regroup? Huh. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll sit this one out, Sharon.
What did you say?
Sending info on mark. Objective, neutralize the basic power grid. Deactivating the power on the basic and surefire way to break through security. Now that the attack has begun, tech units that protect the generators will start appearing. These units have the few parts we need. Use the parts to burn out the generator circuits. This is the last generator. Keep going.
Concentrate defensive forces at our vicinity. Send high-level firepower units. The Descendant must be stopped. Execute them.
Security system compromised. Tactical target achieved. Terminating mission.
That's the Vulgus barracks, which I was assigned to take out. They said if we didn't destroy their base, it would allow them to counterattack or something. But what a shame. I have no more rounds. Why don't you finish up one? It was kind of boring, to be honest. I've destroyed the main passages. You only have to deal with the remaining troops. And hey, Colon Lackey, why don't you go ahead and send the operational relay when you get there? Oh, and make sure.
Bogus reinforcements detected. Internal facilities destroyed by Germans. Bogus reinforcements closing in. This is more than we expected. Without the advanced attack to reduce their forces, we'd be surrounded by now.
Unit numbers critical. Munitions. Urgent resupply requested. Deploying elite forces to resume control.
You're almost there, Descendant. Keep after it.
Barracks unrecoverable. Defense failed.
You've done it, Descendant. We should relay termination.
get to the point. It seems as if it look. I'm not. I get.
Sharon, give me the order and I will track him.
Let him be.
Descendant?
You'll need to leave first, Descendant. Sharon's prosthesis has been damaged from excessive RK use. We'll join you as soon as we can.
Don't worry. You've seen what they're capable of. I hope these repairs can be done quickly.
So this is the Ironheart excavation site that was documented in the Ancestors' data. As you must know, the Ironhearts are mysterious entities that somehow made their way to Ingress. They were first discovered by the architects. The Ironhearts were passed down to the Ancestors, my creators, and the forebears of the Descendants. We don't know why the Ancestors hid all the Ironhearts. But this much is certain. I was created in order to protect them. After that, well, we'll come to that once we find you an Ironheart. I'm detecting an unusual energy flow nearby. These are traces of Ironheart excavation. Ironheart microparticles confirmed. Initiating emergency restoration protocols to repair damaged systems. Descendant, we have retrieved Ironheart elements from the excavation site. Next, I must... Oh no. This wasn't just an excavation site. I need to interface with the quantum monolith, a data processor belonging to the Ancestors. This device contains my restoration data, which can be copied using Ironheart microparticles. I can guide you there. However, to access the quantum monolith, Descendant, I must undergo authentication here first. I should still have access, as it was my system and memories that were damaged. Please keep the Vulgus at bay while the authentication is in progress.
Intruders accessing core asset. Approaching high-risk levels. Initiating facility lockdown procedures.
Descendant, passageways are being blocked across the facility. I'll do my best to find a way out, but it won't be easy to maneuver. Please be careful. Excavation site. There must have been countless experiments conducted here using the Iron Hearts. Emergency restoration protocols would have been one of them.
Executing Legion of Immortality General Amen orders.
I must access the quantum monolith. Defeat the Vulgus.
The void corrosion has encroached upon my legion.
That is because of an unknown error. It will be fixed momentarily. Complete. The security threat has been neutralized. I have completed all preparations as you commanded. Legion will be reborn through the Iron Heart.
Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for Clipper! Stand at the vanguard for me, Al-Zaruk. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Al-Zaruk submits to Lord Karel's command. Armor, transport the Ironheart to my fortress. Initiate the data inversion immediately.
Descendant, even though the Vulgus managed to access the data first, I have been able to restore one of my core functions through the emergency restoration protocol. I am finally able to detect the Ironheart. Let me explain this function and how to utilize it.
Welcome to the Modules Lab. Welcome. You're here for modules, right? If all modules were the same, I'd be out of a job, right? Modules will make you stronger. Ask me anything about modules. Welcome to the Modules Lab. If all modules were the same, I'd be out of a job, right? Modules will make you stronger.
If it's about weapons, you come and talk to me.
Ironheart. It's how you...
Descendant, I've received the report on the results of the operation from Colon Special Forces. It seems the core functionality of the guide has been restored. I have a related operation for you. Please return to HQ. Descendant, you, the guy, she, keep that, as you, the locate, once we've kept...
HQ, we appreciate the support. The operation will commence once reinforcements arrive.
It'll be fine for a while. Sorry, I wasn't able to... but I'll...
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the archy of Descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing.
Descendant, this is a Vulgus logistics facility where raw materials and products needed for the munitions factory are distributed. As this is where the Ironheart particles were detected, we may find a lead in their distribution records. If you can connect your receive to a terminal, I'll try hacking into the distribution records. Logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
I've taken over operation of the environmental data collector we've installed. When we retrieve it, we'll be able to check the environmental parameters without coming into contact with contaminated wastewater. Will there be enough data for you to perform an analysis, Guide? You know our equipment can't detect Ironheart traces.
Once I complete analysis of the composition of the wastewater, I should know why I can detect Ironheart particles.
Then we'd better retrieve the data quickly. It will only be available for a limited amount of time.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and Vulgus electrolytes. The Ironheart particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind. HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Corell board. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more Descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any...
HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Corell board. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more Descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate Ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.